Look, at my age, you know I've been to a lot of doctors. Healthcare partners, they really care. They're concerned about your health. They're all the best. I am Roberta, and I am a healthcare partner. Visit hcpnv.com to hear my story.
News 46 is brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 751-0349. News is also brought to you by Bees Embroidery and Garment Printing, specializing in custom and personalized decoration of gifts, garments, and more. Call 775-727-9444.
Tonight on News 46, a major injury accident shuts down Highway 160. Sheriff DeMayo shows his true colors with a new business venture. And Golden Gaming holds a debut party for Lakeside. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Monique Mitchell. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Thursday, August 4, 2013. I'm Monique Mitchell for News 46. Well, a two-vehicle accident occurred this afternoon on Highway 160 and Irene Street. News 46 reporter Ryan Muccio spoke to Sergeant Carlos Rivera from the Nevada Highway Patrol.
Tonight's accident report is brought to you by Stovall & Associates. Don't expect insurance companies to have your best interest in mind. Stovall & Associates cares. Let us help you if you have been involved in an accident.
Yes, unfortunately we had a two-vehicle accident here at the intersection of 160 and Irene. We had a green vehicle that was traveling southbound, pulling a trailer going southbound on 160, approaching the intersection. We had a white vehicle that was traveling northbound on 160, attempting to make a left turn onto Irene Street, and that driver failed to yield right away, and unfortunately we had an accident.
How many injuries today?
It appears that we have 6 total. We have two occupants from the white vehicle that were flighted out to UMC Trauma in Las Vegas, and we had 4 occupants, including the driver and the green vehicle, that were transported here locally to the out here locally to the hospital front.
And any citations issued or will be issued?
Yes, sir. If we do find, actually, once this investigation is complete, we will be citing the driver from the white vehicle for obviously for failure to yield right away while turning left.
Okay, and can you give our viewers any tips on how to avoid situations like this?
Well, number one, we want to make sure that people are obviously paying attention and have their full attention to driving, and we want to make sure that people are seatbelted in, and make sure that when you come up to an intersection that you do make sure that you yield the right of way to oncoming traffic, whether you're turning onto a secondary highway or you're coming off a secondary highway and you're trying to cross the highway or make a turning movement, make sure that you yield the right of way to traffic.
Well, our own Sheriff Tony DeMayo has a new profession he hopes to start committing his full attention to when he retires from the sheriff's office when his term expires.
Actually, it's a hobby. It was a hobby of mine for years, since I've been always doing my own cars. And recently, back in November, we decided what we're going to do when I retire. So I kind of like washing, detailing cars. So I started experimenting as I turned into a hobby, but it's not a profession, actually. And I was actually picked to be part of a team to actually detail the first Air Force One, SAM 970, which right now is in the Museum of Flight in Seattle. I was asked as a team of 32 individuals that were picked across the country to come up there and work on the aircraft. It was volunteer for us, and we enjoyed it. I thought it was an honor that I was actually picked as well.
You're opening this business because you're planning on retiring here from the sheriff's office, right?
Well, actually, the business is already open. I Back in March, I got the name registered. Linda and I were looking at this in as early as January of this year. And I've been in business now since beginning of around June. Yeah.
What's the name?
Diesel Detailing, named after my first canine and my current dog. Detailing. Yeah, I'm a detailer. I've actually worked on cars. I did a lot of project cars to see if I was going to. This is something I liked. I took the toughest cars that were there that I could find and restored them. To the best you can with the car. I had a couple project jobs when I actually went to school. I'm a certified detailer. I got picked to next week. I'll be going up to Reno. There's one of the last flying Electras. It's a twin engine aircraft. If anybody remembers Amelia Earhart, that was the type of aircraft she flew, which she was lost in. This one is up in Reno. I was called to help them restore that aircraft. That aircraft is all polished aluminum. I mean, it's going to be very interesting because that's you're not doing any paint work. You do working on just the metal work. And so I'll be going up there next weekend and go up there a couple of days to get that working on that project with another team. And once that aircraft is restored, eventually we'll go get on display at the Museum of Flight in Seattle as well. It was an honor. I got to work on the vertical tail of the American flag, which is another honor you get because you're a veteran. But like I said, is that it's a paint restoration. You're working on paint that's been exposed to the weather, and you just can't make any mistakes. So you do not want to pick somebody that basically is going to be someone that can wind up damaging a piece of history. It is, but it's also problem solving. It's looking at something that it's a tough stain. It's a lot of it is you have a mission, and you get to unlike in law enforcement and other jobs that we have, you get to see the gratification of the work. Someone is very happy with the work you did, and you get to. Some of these stains are mysteries. I call them GOKS, God Only Knows stains, which I've had a few of those already. So it's a way of, it's problem solving, and it's a way of developing a technique, and it's a way of looking at something. And honestly, what I'm looking for is like any detailer is looking for is someone to go, wow. And I didn't know it could. I didn't know my vehicle could look this good. I didn't know you can actually get this stain out, and very appreciative of the work. And and it's like they pay you for it too. So.
Well, one man was arrested with more than 12 grams of heroin in his possession last week following an undercover police operation.
53-year-old Paul Alvin Laverty was taken into custody after Nye County Sheriff's deputies were given a report from our narcotics detective that the suspect was en route to Pahrump with heroin inside his vehicle. Laverty, who was driving a white four-door Subaru, was pulled over in the area of Highway 160 in Mans after patrol deputies were informed that Laverty had allegedly purchased heroin in an undercover operation and was traveling to Pahrump with the drugs. After deputies pulled over the vehicle, they opened the engine compartment and found a bag wrapped in tape with what appeared to be heroin inside the air filter. Police also reportedly found drug paraphernalia inside the vehicle. The suspect also allegedly tested positive for heroin and other drugs while in custody. Laverty is being held on $5,640 bail. This is Deanne O'Donnell for News 46.
All right, folks, we'll keep it here because we're going to have more local news for you after this break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Children's Dentistry of Pahrump, specializing in sedation dentistry, now accepting adult patients. Call now for free IV sedation with dental implant, 751-2184.
Welcome back to News 46. Well, he was sentenced to life in prison plus 1,000 years for a heinous crime, but in the end, he cut that life short. Ariel Castro, convicted of kidnapping and raping 3 women, as well as murder, committed suicide in his prison cell last night in Ohio. Castro was convicted of holding the women captive in his Cleveland home for about a decade. The 52-year-old Castro hanged himself with the bedsheet. Prison medical staff tried to revive him, but Castro was pronounced dead shortly after. And a 31-year-old Sparks man has been sentenced to 20 years in prison for posting pornographic photographs of a juvenile relative on the internet. Gregorio Garcia was sentenced yesterday after pleading guilty in June to 1 count each of production and receipt of child photography. Prosecutors say he admitted he took the photos of a 7-year-old relative with his cell phone and posted them to an online internet file sharing site last year. Federal agents secured warrants and searched his apartment after an online undercover operation connected him to the photos along with more than 150 other images he had downloaded from the internet. Well, country music singer-songwriter Mac Davis has had a full life, originally writing and producing for Elvis Presley. He also had a successful solo career in the 1970s. He produced huge hits such as Baby Baby, Don't Get Hooked on Me, making him a well-known name in pop music. Davis also starred in his own variety show, The Mac Davis Show, a Broadway musical, and various films and TV shows. Deanna O'Donnell caught up with the legend at the Beach Boys show in Las Vegas.
Some of you might remember Mac Davis and the Mac Davis Show. He had a couple hits in the 70s as well as his own variety show. We're going to speak to him. We ran into him here at the South Point Casino. I'm here with Mac Davis. Mac Davis, you're here at the Beach Boys show. Tell me how you like the show.
Oh, I loved it. I've known Brian Wilson for over 40 years, and they've been friends of mine all my life. I wanted to go back and get their autographs, but I'm afraid they're going to leave now before I do.
We'll let you get going. I know you've been signing autographs too.
That's okay. I don't mind.
How have you been doing? What have you been up to?
Well, I just ride my horses yesterday, and I got a little limp. I got a barrel horse, a roping horse, and a stallion, and I got a little too close to the rail, and it hurts. I'm a little sore.
You here in Vegas?
I have a ranch here also.
Will you be performing soon?
Not here. I don't think I'm going to be doing much performing.
There you go. A lot of songs that you were popular for, and of course your show.
Yeah, Baby Don't Get Hooked on Me, and my favorite's Hard to Be Humble. I like that song.
Thank you so much for speaking with us.
My pleasure. And I really enjoyed the concert. It was wonderful.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
To keep up with Mac Davis, you can find him on the web. We'll keep you updated of any upcoming shows. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
Well, folks, keep it here because we're going to have more news for you after these messages.